it. But I just have this, fascination and appreciation for anything agave and Mexican culture, Mexican food, the heritage, the production of the spirits, all that stuff, man. I mean, that is near and dear to my heart for sure.
All right, so another personal question, and this can go beyond Denver and Colorado.
How many people are on your list?
What's the favorite bar you've ever visited? Or like,
is it like Dead Rabbit?
What's one that's up there where you're just like, you went to it and you're just like, damn, this was fucking top notch.
I like that you mentioned Dead Rabbit. I lived when I was I lived in the financial district for a little while. Dead Rabbit was 2 blocks from my house, so Dead Rabbit was my neighborhood bar.
I hit him up last time I was there.
Really?
For having great craft cocktails, you really get thrown off with the whole fucking
grog
sawdust
downstairs.
on the ground.
So that's the thing is, for 6 months, I had actually never been upstairs to the cocktail bar. I had only been, we'll get there after work at 3 a.m. and stay until they close, which sometimes was 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. for us. So I had this incredible connection to that being my neighborhood bar, but then never actually, having these amazing cocktails upstairs. We sat down and we were at Dead Rabbit, but it wasn't the cocktail bar that's upstairs that everybody kind of loves and is very, and they do a great job. I'm sad they had a bar on Pier A about 6 blocks from Dead Rabbit called Blacktail that recently closed. It was right before the pandemic, and it was a Cuban-themed bar, but it was modeled after an American exile bar in Cuba during Prohibition. Oh. And it was so fucking well thought out, so beautiful, incredible cocktails, great food. The experience was amazing. So that has kind of always been one of my favorite go-tos there, but it always kind of changes. I think, man, best bar experience ever. Holy shit, that's such a hard one. I feel like,
New York seems like it's always known for, the after-hour grind. You can unwind with a cocktail, and then being there, you can probably channel a lot of at least, creativity or inspiration from that.
Yeah.
But, California?
Portland,
and
Asia. Also, now that we're starting to be able to somewhat operate and travel more internationally, where would be a place you would like to go to and experience kind of a cocktail place?
My list for that is so endless. I think that's one thing that I'm hoping I'll be able to do one day as owning a bar is having to not have to be in it all the time and being able to use that to travel the world more. I think
R&D
number one place,
exactly.
I got a ticket
it's a write-off
today to anywhere. Where are you going?
Japan.
Okay, cool.
That's number one.
I like it. There we go. Okay.
And again, it's a lot of the culture behind it.
Yeah. And I feel like, we joked about Kelly. Kelly loves it, and you hear about it. We did an episode, fun fact, we've referenced New York a couple times, but our boy, Brunch Boys, Jeremy Jacobowitz, he used to work with Bobby Flay. And I asked him, I was like, would you live there? And he was like, no, but if I could, I would just travel there for 3 months at a time because you just want to get immersed in the culture. And he's like, you go over there thinking sushi or ramen or whatever, and then you get this whole new experience of something totally flip it on its head. And he's like, no, it's like eating, it's like eat acid and switch it up. And so he's like, it's a great experience. So when you start booking that one-way flight or those flights for R&D, you combine it.
All right.
Wisconsin. And Fireberg's in too. I know he's down.
Done.
Okay, so we have 2 more personal questions that we like to ask all of our guests.
Yeah.
These are going to really hit home. People are going to get to know the inside of you. The first question is the Stoned Appetit question of the week. First off, do you get high?
I actually don't. I used to, and I think all of a sudden one day I just kind of was over it. But this was 15 years ago or
we've made great strides.
And I know that everything has changed since. I have every once in a while throughout the years or, take a little CBD to help me sleep on occasions, things like that. But I don't regularly.
Well, now that you mentioned, to help you sleep, that's going to lead us to the real Stoned Appetit question of the night. Let's say you had a real rough day. A bunch of Karens came in, left 1-star Yelp reviews, ordered Long Island iced teas as long as the day is young. What's that? Fuck, I'm just glad the day's over. I'm going to kick my feet up. If it's not a drink, what is your decompressant at night? Is it a glass of wine? Do you like to pour yourself an agave? What's your kind of
pint of ice cream?
Yeah. Oh, what is it? Snack, drink? What is it that?
It's usually just at the end of the night where we're breaking down and cleaning here. Just everybody having a shift beer, just having a beer, maybe a shot of tequila or something as we do that. But usually just like a nice ice cold beer. Yeah, it doesn't have to be anything fancy at all. For a long, long time, we were just like Coors Banquet. It's usually what we stock here. That's the cheapest
Beers
that we just have.
Right?
There you go. But that's usually what it is.
I love it. All right, so before we go, Chris is going to ask the last question, but I want to give you all a quick reminder. Run for the Roses is in the basement of the Free Market. If you've seen the big sign that says Bruto in the windows walking along 18th, go in that entrance and go down the elevator. You'll find a well-lit bar at the end of a nice dark hallway. Very cool vibes as you walk down and get your table. But you can also access it as well off of Blake Street coming in. I joked about the Warby Parker location. It's right next door. Just walk into the Free Market and go down there. If you want to know more about the hours, the menu, the operation and how things go, RFTR Bar on social media. You'll see the post on our social media. You'll see me drinking here fairly often. Come check them out. It's a fantastic location. That's the plug.
Thank you.
Stephen, thank you for joining us. I really do appreciate it. It's been not only fun but insightful. We learned not only about craft cocktails, but we learned about you. But our listeners are going to get to know a little bit more about you here with our last question of the night. Chris, do the honors.
All right, so it's your last supper. You got 3 guests coming, dead or alive, no friends or family. Who are you having? What cocktail are we serving? And what are we going to be eating?
That is such a great cocktail, such a great question. I'd be interested to
listen to the last 181 episodes to see who everybody else has said.
Yeah.
Hey, take your time.
I think one would definitely be Bourdain. 2 would probably be Ernest Hemingway. And 3 would probably be just a random complete stranger that we ran into at whatever place we were at.
Hemingway probably would have a few of those,
yeah.
And you better be bringing a big cocktail.
Yeah.
To be fair, we haven't heard Man on the Street yet, and I fucking love that answer.
Yeah.
So some lucky guy out there has no idea he's about to join you on your last supper.
I think the nature of both of those guys with someone random that you run into can generate probably one of the greatest food and drink experiences, and I think that could also be replicated with every new person. Every new person, I think you're going to have a different story. You're going to have a different meal. And
possibly in the night with a fight.
Yeah.
I love that answer.
All right, what cocktail are we having with Hemingway?
This is huge.
Daiquiris, for sure.
Yeah?
Daiquiris.
All right.
And I love the way, so Hemingway, how he actually ordered daiquiris is the way that I think all daiquiris should be made. So he didn't like to do a lot of sugar. So he wanted essentially equal parts sugar, lime, and double the amount of rum, which is coincidentally almost how we make our daiquiri here. Our daiquiri has a little bit more than double the amount of rum compared to lime and sugar. Yeah. So our daiquiri is
it called the Hemingway?
No. So
we can audible
the Hemingway daiquiri actually has grapefruit juice in it, which is surprising because that's not what he drank. So I don't know where that
I'll take your word for it.
Came
I saw
from.
Midnight in Paris. That's all I got for it. Isn't that a great movie?
Great movie.
Chris put me on it, and I've probably watched it 8 times.
Yeah,
since
great movie.
I'm like, fuck. And
So
you know how they always say, oh, I wish I lived in this time?
Yeah.
I was saying that the whole time. I was like, fuck, I just want to live in Paris. I don't care what year it is.
Same.
Get my ass over there.
Same.
I'll take 2021 in Paris.
Yeah.
Me and Wendy Lynn and the crew. That was great. So you've got some pretty big shoes to fill. If we're having Hemingway Dax, what are we having to munch on?
I think with those guys, it's about convenience and gluttony. So we're talking like I mean, my
Street
favorite
foods,
Bourdain episode ever is Quebec with the guys from Joe Beef, and they're literally sitting in a ice fishing cabin on the water, and they're drinking white Burgundy, VP chartreuse. They're eating Côte de Boeuf, foie gras, like insane, indulgent, like French gastronomic classics. Over the ice in this shitty, fishing shack, and I love that.
It's all about the company, you
Yeah.
know? And so I feel like you've made a great meal there with a great cocktail
And a stranger.
And a stranger.
I know that may go down as the best threesome we've heard, besides the twins from the Coors Light.
Yeah.
Shout out to those girls. I didn't have a threesome with them, but that was such a great episode, man. I really can't thank you enough for joining us. Anything we need? Did we miss anything? Should we going to dox them? Give them a cell phone number out so folks can just text you directly?
I think, it's always great. I can, talk about the bar, talk about our story forever. I think the biggest thing is, I don't ever want somebody to associate me with the bar or think it is my place or that, if I'm not here, they're going to have a different experience. I always wanted to be part of and be in and have restaurants and bars that don't revolve around one person and one personality. It should be the experience and the place and your staff and your employees.
Dude, your team kills it.
And
I've been
that's
there
what I
without
want
you.
people to
It's
take. I
epic.
want people
Yeah.
to come in no matter what, no matter who's working, and not give a shit if it's me or if it's somebody else, and I think that's kind of the beauty of restaurants. I have regulars that have come in here for a year before they even know that I own the place, and I think that's how restaurants should be. They're over the last few years they've kind of got pointed in this direction of making people celebrities or bigger than they are, and really at the end of the day all we're doing is taking care of people. We're making food, we're making drinks, and you should be able to come into any place, and whoever's working in there, you should have the same experience consistently. So as much as I appreciate telling my story and talking to you guys and putting it out there, I would much rather people just come in and experience the bar, and please take what you can, and if for some reason it's not up to what you want, let us know while you're here so we can take care of it. Don't fuck us on Yelp.
Yeah, well, that's what we should end on. I'm going to cut out everything I just said right here.
Just say, don't fuck us on Yelp.
Fuck Yelp. Yeah. But for real, y'all come down here, check them out. The team is great. The cocktails are fantastic. And, the decor is epic. It's a perfect vibe on no matter the occasion. So come check out Run for the Roses. And until the next episode, we say stay hungry, stay thirsty.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Ooh, good ending. Cheers.